Okay, I think I am live. Yes, I am. Perfect. ¿Me pueden escuchar? ¿Están en vivo? Ahí todos me pueden escuchar o no. Me cuentan en el chat si me pueden escuchar todos. Let me know, please, so that I don't speak in vain. ¿Me pueden escuchar? ¿Vamos bien hasta aquí? Bueno, mientras voy esperando que me respondan y vamos a dar inicio. Yo creo que estamos bien. Alrighty then. Start. Bueno, primero que todo, bienvenidos y bienvenidas a este programa de Project One, edición especial del calentamiento para el Desafío IELTS Summit, que va a ser del 16 al 20 de octubre. Este es un evento 100% online, 100% gratuito, donde les voy a enseñar el paso a paso, el camino para pasar el IELTS en 8 semanas de preparación. Si quieren participar de este evento y todavía no se han inscrito al evento, les voy a dejar aquí el link para que se puedan inscribir. No pierdan tiempo, va a ser del 16 al 20 de octubre, o sea, falta muy poco. Para que se puedan inscribir, realmente poder aprovechar del contenido, para aprobar el IELTS en 8 semanas y puedan estar pendientes. Bien, Mayra dice que I hear well. Thank you for letting me know. Si no se han inscrito, como les dije al evento, háganlo ya. Vamos a esperar un momentito mientras que se van conectando los demás. Y claramente vamos a tener aquí la oportunidad de practicar. Entonces, aquí en este programa enseño a las personas profesionales que quieran pasar el IELTS para poder estudiar, trabajar, emigrar en un país de habla inglesa en 8 semanas de preparación. Por si no me conocen, soy Joel y en este episodio van a tener la oportunidad de practicar la habilidad de speaking conmigo y van a obtener feedback. Entonces va a ser una actividad más dinámica para que puedan participar y realmente aprovechar del contenido que tengo para ustedes. Si quieren, antes de comenzar, me pueden ir contando qué es lo que van a tomar, si van a tomar IELTS Academic, IELTS General y cuál es su objetivo. O sea, ¿quieren estudiar, quieren emigrar o quieren realizar una visa de trabajo para algún país? También me pueden colocar qué país quieren aplicar. Mientras se van conectando, también como les dije, vamos a estar en el evento. Este va a ser el 16 al 20 de octubre, que es del IELTS, el Desafío IELTS Summit, para que puedan participar y realmente aprovechar el contenido que tengo para ustedes para pasar el IELTS en 8 semanas. Por si todavía no vieron esta semana, hay un cronograma de las diferentes actividades que voy a estar realizando. Principalmente, ayer hice un en vivo también y trabajamos específicamente lo que debes saber antes de tomar el IELTS. Entonces, si todavía están en duda, qué es lo que deben hacer, cómo es el trámite para realizarlo, hablamos un poco sobre cómo conocer el examen, el cronograma, el formato del IELTS. También hablamos de qué se espera de vos en el examen, que está muy relacionado a los criterios de evaluación. Conocer tu nivel de inglés, hablamos un poco del nivel de inglés. También hablamos de la práctica que necesitas para poder obtener los resultados. Y también al final hablamos de buscar ayuda si es necesario. Si no vieron ese en vivo, se lo súper recomiendo para que lo puedan ver y no perderse de lo que vimos ayer. Y también mañana vamos a tener otro en vivo y toda esta semana vamos a tener diferentes en vivos para poder practicar. ¿Ok? Bien. Catalina dice, hola, buenas noches. Yo me puedo preparar para el IELTS académico, pero presentar el general. IELTS académico, pero presentar el general. Ok, ya entendí la pregunta. Bueno, Catalina. Bien, puedes hacer el general, por ejemplo, practicar para el académico y tomar el general. Sí, lo puedes hacer, pero hay algunas dos habilidades que tienen contenido distinto. En la parte de reading, tal vez no es tan diferente porque inclusive te estarías preparando con contenido más difícil que es el académico, pero en cuanto a la parte de writing, sí es distinto lo que tienes que hacer en la parte 1 y en la parte 2 es muy parecido también. Entonces, en la parte 1 sí tendrías que practicar específicamente lo que es la carta del IELTS General, ¿sí? Pero en todo caso, si tu objetivo es hacer el IELTS General, entonces sería lo ideal que practiques con material para IELTS General. De esta forma vas a estar más, más que preparada con esas habilidades que te mencioné. Perfecto. Mayra, I would like to get an Erasmus Mundus scholarship to study in Europe. I'm planning to repeat the academic IELTS. Ok, entonces entiendo que ya lo has tomado anteriormente, ¿cierto? Es eso. Bien. Perfecto. Muchas gracias por compartir qué es lo que van a tomar y también cuál es su objetivo. Perfecto. Bueno, entonces, como les dije, pueden seguir viendo los diferentes días. Vamos a tener diferentes actividades. También el jueves vamos a hacer una práctica. El jueves, si no me equivoco, sí. Vamos a trabajar un poco de writing. Entonces van a tener la posibilidad de enviar una actividad que las voy a corregir aquí en vivo y van a tener un feedback sobre ello, entonces también pueden practicar, eso va a ser súper útil para todos ustedes que van a tomar el IELTS. Bien, entonces, mientras vamos iniciando, les voy a dejar el link, les voy a compartir el link de esta sesión. ¿Para qué? Para que empecemos a practicar. Entonces, mientras voy dejando el link, vamos a ir hablando un poco sobre la parte del IELTS Speaking. Tal vez Mayra ya esté más familiarizado con el examen porque obviamente ya lo tomó, entonces eso es, digamos que ya tienes una mente totalmente distinta de una persona que ya lo ha tomado, pero de todas formas es importante ver algunos aspectos importantes que podemos mejorar. Entonces les voy a dejar aquí en los comentarios, voy a corroborar que sea el link correcto, les voy a dejar el link para que puedan ingresar y puedan participar conmigo aquí. Enlace de invitación. Just a moment. Ah, está bien. Está bien el enlace. Entonces, aquí les dejé el enlace para que puedan ingresar y vamos esperando para poder hacer alguna de las actividades y hacerlo más dinámico, más práctico, para que podamos realmente aprovechar el tiempo que. Entonces, si ya estás listo, si estás listas y quieres ingresar a la sala, puedes ingresar al link que se encuentra aquí. Dejé en el chat para poder participar. Y bueno, vamos a trabajar alguna de las tres secciones del IELTS Speaking. Para las personas que no saben, tienen 3 secciones en el IELTS Speaking y en ellas van a trabajar diferentes habilidades, obviamente de la parte de speaking. Por ejemplo, en la primera es algo más básico, van a hablar sobre ustedes, su experiencia, y esto es un poco más informal. Ya después en la parte 2, en la sección 2 del IELTS Speaking, vamos a estar trabajando ya una cartilla o una pregunta, y en esta pregunta o esta consigna ustedes van a estar hablando básicamente por 2 minutos y ya, digamos, se termina el tiempo y ya siguen a la parte 3, que es una conversación más abstracta, más de opinión. Entonces, esas son las 3 secciones que van a estar trabajando en la parte de IELTS Speaking. Entonces, como ya les dije, tienen el link aquí, pueden ingresar al link para ingresar conmigo directamente, poder participar. Entonces, no duden en hacerlo ya para que podamos comenzar y aprovechar el tiempo al máximo y intentar llegar a la mayor cantidad de personas que quieran practicar en esta sesión de hoy. Tengo algo ya preparado para ustedes, entonces no tienen que preocuparse por nada, solamente pedir entrar y practicar, ya sería todo. Está bien. Perfecto. También vale la pena mencionar que esta sesión que vamos a trabajar, vamos a practicar aquí, básicamente va a ser en vivo, está transmitida por YouTube y es no solamente para que les pueda ayudar a ustedes, sino también que les pueda ayudar a aquellas personas que están viendo este en vivo y que realmente puedan aprovechar del feedback que les voy a estar dando. Entonces, Elizabeth se encuentra por aquí, me cuenta si me escuchas.
Hello, I'm is the name of my mother because I am on her.
Okay, no problem. So, can you repeat your name because I didn't catch it.
I'm Mayra Bermúdez.
Mayra. Oh, okay. So I saw you there. So
Yeah,
in your case, you already took the IELTS you mentioned, right?
yeah, I did it, but it was 2 years ago, so I almost forget anything, everything.
All right. It's okay. We're going to practice. If you want, you can turn your camera on so we can see you, be more personal here.
Yeah, but the thing is that this laptop has a problem with the software of the camera. I don't know why, but I was
Okay.
trying to change it, but it wasn't an option. I couldn't find it.
Okay, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna be so sad I won't be able to see you. But anyways, the idea is to help you out and get practicing. Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm just not evaluate. I'm just asking. Okay, where are you from? Where do you live? Tell me.
Okay, so I'm from Cali, Colombia, and I
Oh,
live in Cali.
all right.
Yeah.
And what do you want to study? Do you want to work abroad? I think you mentioned that you wanted to study in Europe, right?
Yeah, it is a dream that I have been sharing, like with it, no, having in my heart for a long time. And I'm a psychologist,
Oh,
and
interesting.
yeah, I would like to do a master degree related with my career.
All right. Do you have any country in mind that you would like to go to and study?
Well, the thing about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship is that you have to like travel around at least 3 or 4
Oh,
countries. It depends of the program, of the master's program,
right.
and I haven't decided yet.
Okay. So you're not in one place, but you travel to different countries in Europe.
Yeah, it's mandatory about this scholarship that you have to change every semester
Oh,
to a
wow.
different country. Yeah.
And you were thinking, oh, I don't want to do that.
No, I want because
Of
I that
course.
is like yeah, because that is the main purpose of studying in Europe. I really want to have the time to meet some countries or to see or to visit some countries, and that's it, like the idea. So this scholarship matches to me perfectly.
All right. That sounds excellent. Good. All right. So before we start, I'm going to ask you just a quick question that I had in mind. Oh, the IELTS that you took already, was it academic or general?
Academic.
Oh, and what was your score on it?
It was B2 6.5.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Well, thanks, but it wasn't enough. So
Why?
it is
What did
because the
you?
writing, it was awful. It was
Oh,
5.5.
so you needed to have a 6.5 in the writing too.
Yeah,
Ah, I get it. Okay.
it's 6, and
Well,
it was 5.5. So
you're so close. You will get it. All right.
thanks.
You ready to practice?
Yep.
All right, let's do this. So we're going to start with the first part, the first section of the speaking, and then we'll stop and I can give you some feedback and we may move on depending if there are more people that want to practice or not. Okay.
Okay.
All right, good. So this is going to be as in the exam. It's not going to be as formal. So just, don't feel stressed. We're practicing, and the idea is for you to feel comfortable here.
Great. Okay.
All right, good. So, well, Maida, Maida, right? I pronounced it right.
Yes.
Okay. So in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Okay. So let's talk about writing. Now, what different types of writing do you do? For example, letters, emails, reports, essays.
Well, in my daily life, when I am working as a psychologist, I have to write clinic stories. I know. Well, is this clinic like a part? I don't know how to say that, but it's like the report of the person, the life of the person, or important things of the person. And yes, I also send some emails. I am currently writing every day 3 pages of random thoughts because I'm reading a book that is called The Artist's Journey, I guess. So it recommends that to have a more creative life. So it is all.
Okay. And do you prefer writing with a pen or using a computer, pencil? What do you prefer?
I prefer the pen. I like handwriting because you can be more fluid, and yeah, I like it like the feeling of writing with my hand.
Okay. Do you write more now or less than a few years ago?
No, I have been writing like constantly because in my career, when I was a student, that I had to write a lot because it's a social science, and I had to do some essays and writing some notes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have been writing all of my life, I guess, since I'm a child.
Oh, interesting. And do you like to write stories or poems or just reports, as you mentioned?
I am not good with the stories, I guess, that I haven't tried enough, but sometimes I like just to write how I feel, and I like how it sounds when I finish and I read it back.
Okay, great. So we're finished with this first part, okay?
Okay.
How did you feel?
Uncomfortable because I thought that I really wanted to get fluent, but I was thinking that it doesn't matter what I was saying, like it wasn't important. I thought about the grammar, but my mind sometimes gets like lazy. I don't know how to say that, but it's kind of that. And I try to get the words, and it's difficult.
What do you mean when you said it wasn't important? Like what you were saying wasn't important. What do you mean?
Oh, because I was the other day I
Mhm,
watched a video about speaking test, the IELTS,
mhm,
and the person recommends that you can maybe invent a story, or the information that you are given is not too important. It's more important
mhm,
how you say that the firm that the the speech of
mhm.
the speech. And but when you feel nervous, you cannot think about that. It's hard.
Okay. All right. Well, that's very interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. It's true. I mean, the evaluator doesn't know your life. You can be saying, "Oh, I jumped off. I went skydiving, and it was an amazing experience." They don't know if it's true or not. So you can basically just um, roll with the story, and they will believe you. However, you just notice that when you are speaking and you're nervous, it's hard to make up things.
Yeah.
It's very hard to make up things and to be consistent and to give detail,
Mm.
because something that when you're telling the truth, you can give a lot of detail, right? You can say,
Yeah.
for example, I write poems every day, and I like when the words rhyme and the verses that I use, when it's true, you can actually be very specific about it. So I would say you can use this strategy of, if you're not sure what to say, invent it. Is better than not saying anything. But I would tell you, if you can and you have a good experience and it's really applies to you, then it's something that you should definitely talk about. Okay, because you will give more detail and you won't have to be inventing. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the advice.
And also, for example, in my case, I remember they asked me about writing letters, like physical letters, and I don't really write physical letters. I mean, who does that now? No, I'm lying. Some people do it, especially here in the US. People love writing letters to friends. I don't know why, but they do. So, and but back then I didn't write letters. So I told them I don't write letters, and then I gave some other explanation related to how I send emails to friends, and it's similar to letters. I kind of connected this idea, right? So even if if it doesn't totally answer what they're asking you, try to connect it in some way with something that applies to you. And so in that way, you will feel more comfortable telling something that is actually true to you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Apart from that, I do believe that your conversation went by very well. You were able to answer my questions. I didn't realize that you were making it up. Were you?
No, I wasn't. I
Okay.
was just thinking that no, to be honest, I was totally honest. And
Okay.
I was thinking more about when I was talking, I was thinking about telling the truth, even though I knew that it wasn't too important. So my mind was thinking, maybe I'm not talking properly as I should, because I am trying just to explain what I was thinking.
Well, I believe you explained it well. I do believe it's relevant what you were saying because it applies to your profession. And then when you told me you write a lot, like you write, you said like 3 reports per day. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of writing, of report writing, right? So I think it is very interesting what you were saying. So
Okay.
be careful with you like yourself telling you that things that you do or you say might not be important. It doesn't really matter. I mean, they evaluate how you speak and how you communicate, not if they like it, if they like what you're saying or not, you know?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think it was very interesting. I think it was relevant what you were saying. You were answering my question, so that is great. I would say like something for you to start searching a little bit more is vocabulary related to your profession, because you were kind of stuck with a word. I don't know if you remember. You probably remember.
No, but I remember that I was stuck, but I don't remember the word.
Okay. So you were talking about reports, like you were talking about
Yeah, yeah, I
historical.
remember clinic history, but I was not sure about the word. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So you're most likely going to speak about that, right?
Okay.
So find out this vocabulary that is related to that so that when you say it, they get the perception, oh, this person knows what he or she's speaking about, right?
But I have a thing I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I feel, well, there is this thing about the input and the output of talking and knowing the words. And I have read a lot of uh, articles,
Mhm.
like research articles of my career, and I can read and understand the words, most of the words, even though they are some technical words. But when I want to say that, my mind doesn't remember, and I want to know how to unblock that, because I know that I know the words, but I cannot remember when I am talking. It
Yeah.
just go to the basic. I don't know.
Well, one thing is, this is how our brain works, right? Um, there are going to be words that you are going to retain and other ones that you're not, right? As you're more exposed to this vocabulary, sooner or later it's going to start getting more common and you're going to start using them. Okay. So what I would say in this case is it's okay to read articles and get more technical about the vocabulary. The reading and understanding is easier than the producing part, right? You're going to read it, you're going to understand it a lot easier than you're going to produce it. And that's okay. That's how we function, right? I would say focus on the words that you are probably going to use in an everyday conversation explaining about your profession. Okay. In that way, you're not going to focus too much on technical words that you might not be using in an everyday conversation, but in some technical words that you will be using, for example, explaining to me what you do, right? It's more of a general conversation, not so specific, because I don't know what you study, I don't know what you do. So in that way, uh, you can use more general terms, but also you can put inside some technical words. Is that okay?
Yes, great.
All right. And then one last thing is when you were talking about you, it was more fluid. I think you were trying to say like,
Yeah, but that word is more for water or something liquid.
exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
So how can you say that in a different way so that you don't, so that you
Fluent.
don't, yes, it was more fluent. Exactly. Very good. All right, good.
But
So
that is the thing about the mind that I was telling you, that the words that come up are just, I don't know, I'm just basic, or I don't know, but my mind just said it quickly, and that's a pressure. I feel that.
Another way that you can focus on how you can speak and that you can use other words and not always repeating yourself. In terms of basic words, I mean, you can record yourself answering a question. For example, you can watch this recording after this session and, well, listen to it. You can listen to it and pinpoint where you could say it differently, and then record yourself saying it differently, okay? And then speak to yourself about this. Oh, I was trying to say this, but I really meant to say this and that. Even though you may sound like you're crazy speaking to yourself, if you have no one else to practice with, then this is a good way to do it, okay?
Yes, okay. It's kind of correct myself, and that will be more maybe easy to remind after within the time, I
That's
guess.
right. That's right. That's right. All right. Any questions that you have for me? Was it helpful? Was it not helpful?
Yes, it was helpful. Yeah, I think that is just continuing practicing.
Right. So first, like I said, focus on what you have to say that is true to you. If you have no choice, okay, you can invent, but try to focus on what is true to you, because you will find more details in that. Also, look at some vocabulary related to your profession. In this case, focus on the ones that you could probably use in an everyday conversation and not so technical that you know that you're not going to remember. Okay, so just focus on those two things so that we can make it easier.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you so much. And I hope I helped you. And of course, I wish for the best for the next time you take the IELTS. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. All right. So that was our class with Mayra. She was a great first start. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your help, and also helping everyone else here that is being part of this practice. I can take one more person if they're ready. Si ya están listos, alguien quiere participar, el link para poder ingresar a la sala de Zoom está aquí en el chat de Zoom. Entonces, en el chat de YouTube, para que puedan ingresar. Entonces, voy a esperar un momento para que pueda participar alguna persona que quiera entrar. Vamos a hacer una actividad de práctica, así como lo hicimos con Mayra, y realmente poder aprovechar este momento de poder tener un feedback, de poder ver qué aspectos podemos mejorar, y de esta forma obviamente podemos seguir practicando. Okay, so wait just a moment. Si tienen alguna duda sobre lo que acabamos de hablar con Mayra, alguna sugerencia que también puedan tener de su experiencia, siempre es válido toda la información que tengan aquí. All right. Perfecto. ¿Tienen alguna pregunta? Hasta aquí todo va muy bien. If there's no one else here to practice, and Mayra, you would like to practice a little bit more, we can still practice more if you wish. In that way, we can continue and give you another shot, you know.
Okay, thanks.
All right, good. So we're going to do part 2. Is that okay with you?
It's hard, but yeah.
Of course, it's hard, but it's gonna be
But
fun.
I don't know. I don't have something to write.
Okay, so go get something to write with, please.
Okay.
I'll wait for you. Okay, mientras esperamos entonces a Mayra, que va a pasar la parte 2 con nosotros. Si tienen alguna pregunta, algún comentario, estuvimos aquí practicando con Mayra. Hicimos la parte 1, sección 1, y vamos a hacer la sección 2 del IELTS Speaking at this moment.
Okay, I got it.
Alrighty then. Vamos a la parte 2. Okie dokie. So, give me just a moment. I'm going to share my screen, okay?
Okay.
Right. Tell me if you can see what I'm sharing.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like for you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about it, what you're going to say, and you can make notes if you wish. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, so let me put my timer so we know that we have 1 minute here. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so you have 1 minute in order to take notes.
Okay.
Espérate que ya ahorita en este momentito se ocupó el computador. Sí, el computador.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes to talk about your topic. Ready?
Okay. I was not, but yeah, I'm going to try.
All right.
Sorry.
You can start.
Okay. Okay, so there was one day when I was at the clinic and there was a woman who received the news that her husband has died. So she was crying a lot and she was screaming about how she felt. And then I was asked to go there and help her to feel calm. And so the way that we do that in the clinic is giving or providing hot water with herbs that are like chamomile or something that is good for the nerves. And then I was just trying to hear her, to comfort her, giving some words about the process of just accepting the situation. And she was within the, I don't know, maybe half hour, she was feeling calm and she was thankful at the end about my support. And yeah, so it was very nice because I really like my profession. And this is really related with that, providing psychological help. And yeah, that was the situation. I think it was less time.
Just 6 seconds left, but you did pretty good.
Okay.
You did good with the time. Okay, so how did you feel?
Well, I was writing something different on the notes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
What did you write?
I don't know, because I was interrupted in my room. My grandmother was coming, even like in the first minute that you give me, and
yeah,
I was writing.
I heard her. Yeah.
I was writing something about helping a woman, but I don't know why my mind thought about just crossing the street. And I say, no, I cannot talk about that in 1 or 2 minutes. And I say, no, well, it's about helping people. And I do that all the time. So I thought, well, why not talking about random? Because it was a standard situation that I lived when I was in my work. And it most of that was true, but like it wasn't just that that woman. I had some different people, and that's it. So I just try to do it with that experience, but just talking like it was something that I remembered like recently or something like that.
Okay. So I thought it was when it shocked me. So I think that's a type of story that is very interesting to start with. The way you started, there was one day, like kind of like
Okay.
telling an anecdote of what happened. I thought that was really interesting. And when you mentioned about who was the woman, her husband had died, and I was like, wow. And that's like
Okay.
it's like a very shocking thing because we don't hear about that every day. In your case, you might because of the type of job you do, but other people
Yeah,
that
it's
do
interesting because I don't know why I thought about talking something different from my work. I don't know why, but then I thought, no, why? If I help people all the time.
and I think that it's key here. It goes back to what we were talking about before. You were able to specify things like the type of herbs that you give them. So that's something that it's very important, right? You mentioned some type of herbs that you provide this
Yeah.
person, right? That's detail, and that's very important. So I really like that you use details because it's something that you lived and you can talk about it, right? So I think that was very interesting. Some like small pronunciation changes. For example, in when you talk about herbs, the H sound is very strong. Herbs, and then half an hour. So there has like an N, half an hour. Sometimes you don't hear it much, but it's there.
Okay.
If you're not sure, when you go back to this recording, listen to it, and I think you said half hour.
Okay. I will. Yeah. Okay.
Something that I know that you, another thing that I know that you mentioned that you were interrupted. But remember that the minute that you have there is crucial for you to write the what you're going to speak about. Okay. So when you write, try to speak what you write about. Okay. I understand, like I said, in my opinion, it was a good change, the one that you did from the story of helping someone cross the street to the story of what you lived in your job, right? But
Okay.
you were able to pull it off because it was a very interesting thing to say. But maybe in another topic, it won't be as easy to change. So try to stick to what you write, okay? So that you don't have to improvise at the moment you're speaking. Improvise not in the sense that you're inventing it, but in the sense that you are just coming up with the information from the moment that you're speaking, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
But in general, I really liked this part two speech, this part two that you were talking. I think that it was a very interesting thing to talk about, and it goes answer each one. It answered who, you're talking about the lady, why, how you helped this person, then what the result was, and explaining how you felt about it. Just okay, so just one last thing about in this case, you said it was a nice, you felt nice. Try to get more emotion in there, like explain yourself a little bit more about how you felt using other vocabulary, not only nice, okay? But
Okay.
those are some details that it's important to improve because, of course, if we show that we have more range of vocabulary, you have higher chances of getting higher points too. All right?
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Any questions about this? Had you practiced one like this before, or
With this,
yeah?
no, never.
Okay, good. All right. Actually, I should have asked you that before we started, but okay, it worked out.
Yeah, no, it was good.
All right, good. So thank you so much for practicing, Maida, once again. Thank you for being here, for being brave. I know it's not easy to be uh, broadcasting this and other people listening to you, but it's very helpful. I hope they helped you a lot. I hope you took some notes so that you can practice it later on. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity.
No, thank you for being here. All right. We are going to be finishing for today. Thank you so much. Muchas
I
gracias.
have just a question. Sorry.
Tell me.
Like in general, how would you think my score could be?
All right. So I'm not going to give you a specific grade because I
Yeah.
would be thinking about.
Yeah, I know
the-
that it's a lot of thinking before like giving a score or a
For
curve.
example, in the second, the part two, I believe it is a 6.5, 6 to 6.5. On the first part, that could improve a lot more. It would be more like a 5, somewhere there. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
So it's just improving on those aspects that I mentioned before, but I really like the second part when you're speaking.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. No problem. Bueno, muchísimas gracias, chicos y chicas que están aquí por participar. Gracias, Mayra. Ya saben que vamos a seguir haciendo en vivos esta semana. Mañana voy a hacer un en vivo específicamente hablando sobre cómo te puede afectar tu nivel de inglés para pasar el IELTS. Entonces, si todavía tienen dudas sobre el nivel de inglés que tienen, cómo les puede afectar, si vale la pena tomar el IELTS, si no, mañana voy a estar hablando sobre ese tema que es súper importante para que puedan participar. Es a la misma hora, a las 6 de la noche Pacific Time o las 8 de la noche hora Colombia. Entonces, para que puedan participar. Y durante la semana voy a estar haciendo más en vivos. El jueves, como les mencioné, vamos a hacer una actividad más práctica también, pero ya relacionada al writing. Aquí voy a estar analizando un writing y les voy a estar dando la oportunidad que puedan practicar y darle feedback en esta actividad. Entonces, para que puedan estar pendientes de las redes sociales, especialmente Instagram, que voy a estar pasando por ahí la información de cómo va a funcionar esa práctica en vivo. Y si todavía no se han inscrito al desafío que vamos a estar haciendo del 16 al 20 de octubre, este evento es 100% online, 100% gratuito, donde les voy a enseñar el camino para pasar el IELTS en tan solo 8 semanas de preparación. Entonces, les voy a dejar el link aquí abajo para que se puedan inscribir si no lo han hecho todavía y que realmente puedan aprovechar todos estos en vivos que voy a estar realizando, pero también el evento en sí que va a ser del 16 al 20 de octubre. Así que bueno, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much. And I'll see everyone on the next session. ¿Tienen dudas? Igual las pueden colocar en chat y les voy respondiendo, o si les gustó me pueden dar thumbs up si les gustó lo que pudieron estar aquí. Así que muchas gracias. Bye bye everyone.